Let's begin. Okay, if you are a teacher and you're going to use this, you're going to want a helper to hit pause for you once in a while, or you could just touch your smartboard, or however you want to do that. I'm going to get a helper. This is lesson 2, understanding the subtraction of positive and negative integers, as well as some absolute value. For these problems, I'm going to want you to rewrite each of them as an addition equation in your notebook. Looking up at the example, I've done that. I have the original problem of 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. Addition, it's 3 plus negative 5 equals negative 2. And that's all you need to do for all of those problems. There's only, 6 of them. 1 minus 3 equals negative 2. 5 minus 6 equals negative 1. 3 minus 7 equals negative 4. Rewrite those problems as addition. Write all of those numbers all the way from negative 11 to positive 11. Just what you need. So for 1 minus 3, you would make sure 1 and 0 are in the number line, and move back 3 spaces and wind up at negative 2, etc. like that. So no big deal. Let's move on. Our absolute value review. You're seeing the words distance from 0 pop up all over the place. That's what absolute value technically means. So the absolute value of 9 means how many spaces away from 0 is 9? And the answer, of course, is 9 spaces, or 9 units away from 0. So the absolute value of 9 would be 9. 13, that would be 13 units away. So the answer would be 13. So once there is one number inside of those absolute value bars, you will be able to easily discern the answers. Now, like I just said, we want one number inside of the absolute value bars. And I wrote the word always 6 times just to make it as clear as I can. Always, 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 always leave the absolute value bars until only one number remains inside of them. I've seen many middle schoolers want to tell me what the absolute value of 2 is and the absolute value of negative 5, and then come up with an answer. That is not how it works. Find the answer to 2 minus 5. Leave the absolute value bars around that. Now you have the absolute value of negative 3. And once you understand absolute value very easily, or very well, I should say, you will come up with 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is 3, as it, of course, is 3 units from 0. Okay, here we have 7 minus 12. The absolute value of 7 minus 12. Again, always 6 times. Leave the absolute value bars until only one number remains inside. So in this case, you would get negative 5. So you would write the absolute value of negative 5, and I want you to do that in your notebook. So if you're pausing this video, pause this video, copy that problem, write negative 5 inside of absolute value bars equals x, and then 5, because of course the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. I'm going to want you to solve this one as well. Same exact rule. Even if there's a shark there, just find out what 20 minus 50 is, and you can use calculators if you need to, or hopefully you're great with integers and you know that 20 minus 50 is negative 30. Leave it in the absolute value bars and move on. This one is written as addition, negative 3 plus negative 6, but the absolute value of all of that, solve what's inside the absolute value bars, leave the answer in there until you have one number, get the answer, and move on. Again, you can pause that right now and discuss if you need to. That looks almost exactly like the last problem, but instead of plus negative 6, it is minus negative 6. And in my class is discussed when you have two negative signs, or minus a minus right next to each other, that turns into plus. So rewrite that first, then solve and get one number inside the absolute value bars, and determine what the absolute value of that is. Here's one more problem for you. Tiger is looking at the absolute value of negative 5 plus the absolute, or plus negative 12. Add those together. Leave them in the absolute value bars and move on. Now we're going to do a couple of word problems, and we will be done shortly. Here I wrote one for you. It says, Fast Eddie wants it to be warm enough to play outside, or to play baseball, outside of course, but it's 3 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. He looks out the frosted window and dreams of a 75-degree day. How many degrees does it need to warm up to make this perfect day come true? What you want to be good at is writing an equation from a word problem. So that's really important to write this. And I will help you, and any other teachers out there reading this will help their students with it as well. So there's a good place to pause it and talk about how to write that equation. Once you write it, solve it, and get the right answer, please. And the fun part of our assignment today will be to write your own word problems. You and your friends can discuss some clever ideas. Do what I just did. I wrote a word problem. You can too. Please try to have fun with it. Make it make sense. But write 2 word problems in your notebook that would require the use of positive and negative integers to solve it. You could use any subject matter that you can come up with. I gave you some ideas, including money. Maybe you have some money, but you have to pay some money, or you owe some money and you earn some money. Or water, meaning you could be swimming down below the surface of the ocean and then jump up out like a dolphin or something, or a certain number of feet out of the water. Or the atmosphere, maybe you're way up near the outer space, and then you, I don't know, maybe you get in a what are those called? Hang glider, or a parachute, or some sort of device where you're getting closer to Earth and you would subtract some feet. But come up with some clever word problems for us and have some fun with it. Write those in your notebook, and as it says in the bottom right corner there, be prepared to share. Thank you for watching my video, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed class today.